Okay.
Bye-bye, cosplay covers, cosplaying covers. Hope you have an awesome day.
Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Don't Worry Saturdays. Ha, ha. I didn't mess it up this time.
Funny.
The
Yeah,
audio is
nice.
choppy with static. Yes, but we really can't do much about it. So, um, yeah, we're going to have some technical difficulties throughout the show, but we still want to present the show to you guys instead of having no stream at all. So we apologize for the
Yeah,
technical difficulties, but we also thank you for the ones who are patient and are gonna stick it up. Cool.
thank
So,
you.
as as we begin this stream, hello everyone. My name is Derek, or the Beta Cat. Here we are with Ryan, Static P, and
Hello.
yeah, let's get this started. So everyone, please go ahead and leave your questions below. For those who are new to the stream and have not got the chance to kind of figure out what's going on, don't worry, is where we answer questions from you guys in your lives that you're having troubles with, and you just need an opinion, second advice, whichever. So go ahead and leave your comments, questions.
Yeah, any concerns that are going on in your life? Or anything you just want to talk about? Something maybe you kind of deep in your mind you just want to talk about? That'd be great. Um, Shizuko says, any tips? But I'm not sure any tips about what.
Oh, they said, how can you sing so good?
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of practice. A lot of practice. Um, and yeah, practice. Okay.
So these are all
Will
directed
Ryan
towards
fight a?
you.
Um, I might fight a bear in the wilderness. We'll see. If it happens, it happens. Um,
Oh, I remember this question from last week. I saw it once, but it's
okay.
popping up again. This is from Takano-san. My parents don't like
Okay.
me. Can you help?
Hmm. Um. How do you? I'm kind of curious how you know your parents don't like you. I think a lot of times when we're young, we kind of perceive our parents as not liking us just because they're strict on us, because they don't let us have our way, and they kind of get to do whatever they want. We don't get to do whatever we want, um, and that's the life of being a child, unfortunately. Um, I'm kind of thinking that maybe your parents don't dislike you, but also I've met a lot of people who aren't really looking out for their kids, who really don't pay attention to their kids, give them the effort and attention they need. Um, and that could be perceived as not liking, or my parents don't like me. I suppose a few things you could do is something that I would normally suggest to a parent to get to know their child, but instead I'm going to reverse that and I'm going to say, try to find a way to get interested in their hobby so that you can experience those hobbies with them and they can feel connected to you on that level, like a friend, as opposed to um, how they are now. um, so, because I can't really say that they don't like you or that they do like you because I'm not in your position. So all I have to do is take your word. All I can do is take your word for it. Um, so yeah, all I can say is maybe try to get connected with them through their hobby. I think first they're gonna try to push you away, um, but if you can find ways to get connected with them through their interests, that can go a really long way. A lot of times, as advice for parents, people say, like, get down to your children's level and play with them the way that they want to play. Um, and maybe in your situation, if you are having trouble with your parents, lift yourself up to their level and play with them the way that they want to play. Obviously, if that involves like getting drunk and that sort of thing, I would kind of stay away from that. Like there are some things you probably don't want to be involved in, but if they've got some hobbies you could find yourself trying to figure out how to get interested in, I think that could go. That's the best I've got for you. I hope that kind of went the way that you wanted me to answer that. So yeah, what have you got?
Oh, I was actually like monitoring the OBS for a second. But while I'm still doing this, just to make sure nothing gets all choppy, I think we have some newcomers to the Don't Worry stream. So if you want to explain what it is, because, and also you probably will want to sing because there's a lot of that. But go ahead and just explain what it is again, because I don't think they know just yet what it is.
Sure. Yeah. As long as you guys can hear me well enough. You said you can't understand what he said at all. That's unfortunate. Yes, my real name is Ryan. I'll maybe try to talk louder. Hopefully that will help. Okay, so this is a Don't Worry stream. Basically, we are taking in the concerns of you guys, what your mental concerns are, things you're going through, and want some advice on. We're basically just handing out advice for free. We're pulling this advice from our own lives. We're not psychiatrists, or psychologists, I should say. I don't know which way. But either way, we're not professionals or anything, but, we want to give back to the community and help people out. So we're just, having people post comments about issues and stuff that they're going through or want advice on, and we're giving our best go at it. So we're welcoming you all to put your concerns out there, and we're going to touch on them, even if it doesn't necessarily help you. I find that often it does at least help just put your concern out there, because it makes you feel better when you're able to talk about it a little bit or get a different perspective on it. So, yeah. Now you understand what's going on. You can thank you for joining us today. Also, I'm sorry about the poor quality, just where I am right now, and it's the only option I have. So, yeah, I'm sorry. This is the best I can give you, though. Yeah.
And I am Derek. Don't mind me.
Derek is the host of this series. He's the awesome one that came up with the idea of helping people out in this way. And he's a very good friend. And he's got an awesome plushie. That plushie's name is Alpha. And Alpha's pretty cute, but Derek is even cuter. So let's hear it for a round of applause for Derek.
Okay, so I'm done messing with OBS. The stream is good. The recording is good. And yeah. So I did see a question while I was working this out. It was from Poochie87. My parents are getting divorced and I hate my dad. Help.
Ooh. Ouch. Do you want to touch on this?
So most of the time in a divorce, I'm not too experienced with it myself, but I do know that if there is a reason to why you hate your dad, or if your dad is doing something that causes you these emotions, most of the time in court, when they are fighting for your custody, if they are fighting for your custody, the judge will grant you to the parent that is most trustworthy, most capable of taking care of you emotionally, financially, and so on. But if you dislike your dad, and when they go to court, you can actually bring that up, so you have a less likely chance to be put with your father if that's how you really feel. But that's all I really have for that. I don't have too much experience with that myself, so I'm going to pass the question off to L. Ryan.
Yeah, that was a good answer, because it's actually that's something they can do something about. Yeah, showing up there's an animal behind me. Showing up in court and actually getting a say in who gets custody over them. But yeah, it can be a troubling time and a troubling experience. Myself, my mom went through divorce, and also did not like my dad. My dad was an alcoholic, and he was very cruel and very uncaring at that time. He's gotten a lot better now. He stopped drinking for a while and shaped up. That my mom got my dad when I was young, and to be honest, a lot of times I say, I wish people wouldn't get divorces because oftentimes the struggles in life when you get married are there so you can grow. But in my case, I was very thankful that my mom went out of her way to go through all of the effort to separate us from our dad. While she didn't separate us completely, we still visited on like every other weekend. It really helped out in the home. So I can feel where you're coming from. I don't really have too much advice except for just carry on. Everything's gonna be all right. And I hope you get stuck with the person that's best for you. And sometimes maybe we don't like our parents. Sometimes the parent we dislike the most is the one that is helping us the most without us realizing it, because they're put us through struggle. They're the most straight on us and hold the bar high on us so we become really good individuals. My mom's that way, but at the same time, my mom also knew how to convey the love. So I trust your opinion that maybe your mom is best for you rather than your dad. But yeah, this is just a part of life sometimes, and we all kind of, like I've gone through this, and we all go through struggles like this, and yeah, and I sympathize with you, but I wish you the best. That's what I like to say.
Awesome.
You could always try to make your dad better, but that's really the only other action option you have. Also, I'm sorry that my quality is not that great. Derek, do you think that the sound of the wind is too much? Do you think?
Well, I haven't heard it in a while, so I think you're good. You may just have to speak louder.
Okay. All right.
Oh God.
I'll speak louder.
Let's see. I'm looking through the chat. And by the way, everyone, I'm the one monitoring the chat because Ryan is on his phone, as he's explained, for new people joining in. So that's why I look like I'm staring into the void.
I can look at the chat, but it's kind of far away, and yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm not on a computer in a controlled environment or anything, so.
Okay, so a question that I found is from Ignite Flames. My father promised to stop smoking, but sadly he lied about it. I wish to help him to stop, though. I found his cigars above the fridge, and I don't know what to do. Advice.
That's actually pretty interesting. I'm wondering if he was smoking cigarettes before? Or if it was cigars the whole time. A lot of people don't consider smoking cigars smoking, although, I mean, obviously it is. But it's not tobacco inside the cigar, so it's not necessarily as bad for you. That's not necessarily true. It depends on the cigar. Every cigar is different. But anyways, it's possible that he just has those there, but it's more likely that he's using them. If he promised to give up smoking, I guess he goes back on his word for cigars. I suppose that does count, even though it's not a cigarette. And here's the thing that you can do. Just bring it up to him. Sometimes just someone bringing up the topic is just the right push to help someone make the right choice. So you might just say, hey, I saw the cigars on top of the refrigerator. I thought you quit smoking. And he'll give you his answer. He'll give you his best. And sometimes that will give the guilt. Oh, dang it. I've been caught. It'll give him the next push to move forward. I think most of the issue with trying to stop an addiction is just having that person there that's keeping you honest and keeping you strong. It's really important when you're trying to overcome to have other people there working with you at it. So just be there for him and remind him why he's quitting and that sort of stuff. Your intention is good, and just keep doing what you can. I think you're probably already doing all of those. Yeah, that's the best I've got. Maybe Derek has something better.
So I agree with what Ryan said. You really can't make or choose what your parents do, or for anyone for that matter. You can't influence them to an extent, but overall they're going to have to make the choice. If they already did say that they were going to quit or promise, then they're kind of like halfway there. They still have that urge. And I 100% fully agree with what Ryan said, which is to ask them like what's going on, because that alone is enough to make them realize like, oh, I screwed up. And that's all you really can do. Like, if it bothers you that much, I'm sure your father or whoever is having troubles can see that pain, and then in turn will reflect onto them, and they'll, make an effort to further try to stop doing whatever it is that they're doing. So,
yeah.
Black Eye Fat Lip says, "Are you recording on a potato or a toaster?"
Are you recording on a potato or a toaster? It's a great question. Cool. It's a toaster hooked up to a potato.
Okay, so I
Which
got.
Is why you've got. Oh, go on.
So I got another question. This is from Death Grip. Hey, Static. I was thinking about asking a girl I've known for a long time out. How should I go about it?
Oh. That's hard for me to say since I don't know necessarily your position, your whole story. But, I think it's important to be honest with your feelings. One, it helps to... Hi, Emery. It helps to put your emotions out there for yourself, because then it's over with. Even if they reject you, now it's out there, and that makes you kind of feel better, even though it's a rush and it makes you feel anxious. It's good to get your feelings out there. As for if you've known her for a long time, I think you've probably already got a sense of trust built up with her, where you can probably just talk to her and just say, hey, get yourself into the position where you're talking about relationships and ask her, or just ask her a friend. I think there's a lot of people fear asking someone out because of the rejection. They don't want to ask too early when they could have waited, and maybe then they would have come around. But instead they asked too early, and now there's no chance. Here's the thing, though. If you've known someone for a long time, a lot of times the way that love works is it happens relatively quickly. So if you've known them for a long time already, that love has probably already been there and passed. Rarely does it happen where you've known someone for a long time and then all of a sudden you have feelings for them. Though it does happen. Or slowly feelings develop over time. That happens. But I think that it's better to ask right away, because it puts the concept and idea out there, and that idea alone will not do anymore. Telling someone that you like them, that you want to go out with them, asking them, you can make it as romantic as you want, but asking them, even if they were to they're basically going to be your friend regardless if they're a good person. And later on, if they come to love you anyways, that past experience isn't going to throw them off. It's going to make them want you even more, actually. It's never going to be the case, but because I asked now, later on in life, they didn't come to like me. So that fear is really just silly, I think. So yeah, don't be fearful. Just put yourself out there. Your heart's gonna be pounding, and it's gonna be a beautiful experience. But go for it. Enjoy it.
I agree.
Go for it, Derek. What do you got?
Yeah, the worst that can happen is no, and you're probably thinking, you say that like it doesn't really matter. Well, it kind of doesn't, because if you're friends and if you can't live onward without just being her friend, then that's kind of on you. But if she says no, then she says no. You know, you move on with your life, you continue living life and having fun and doing all the wonderful things that this world has to offer, and you'll find someone else, or someone will find you, which is even more amazing. But overall, if you love someone and just have these strong emotions for someone, don't hide them away, don't keep them at bay, just go over, let them know and see what they say, because there could be a time they will feel exactly the same, and if they don't, that's also okay. You know, they're not obligated to like you that way. Don't pressure them with these feelings, just let them know. And as Ryan said, put yourself out there, because if you're always hiding your feelings and keeping yourself away from the beautiful things in this world, you're never going to grow, you're never going to experience, and that's the most terrible thing to happen to someone. So just go out there and do it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you touched on two really good points. One, if you're afraid of the no that they're going to say, at the same time, you've already just no a million times because you're saying no to yourself without asking in the first place. So it's going to be no until you ask, and then it might be a no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the other is, I really like that you said about if you've got strong feelings about someone, let them know. I think that's brilliant, because here's the thing. Let's say, you know, that doesn't necessarily have to only apply for a girlfriend-boyfriend situation, but the fact that someone admires you, the fact that someone wants to go out with you, it makes you feel good. Even if you want to, even if it's awkward, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Even if that's the case, it makes them feel better, because it's like, holy cow, there's a person who admires me so much that they want to spend the rest of their life with me. That's crazy. It makes people feel good. So even if it's a no, at least you gave them a sense of joy. But yeah, you know, putting your feelings out there, telling people that you love them, telling your friends that you love them, it's very kind, very awesome. By the way, Derek, I love you.
I love you too, man.
Yeah.
I just want to hold you in my arms forever and think about you while I'm eating ice cream.
Wow, that sounds really nice. Just as long as you don't put ice cream on me, because it's cold and I don't like being cold.
Okay, I can live with that.
Then we can do that.
Okay, so I got a question from, I don't know how to say your name, Hexy Universe. Can you give me advice on how to deal with cyberbullies?
Oh.
So I'm sure this question will go for a lot of people in this chat. So that's actually a good question. But,
you want to start off?
Okay. So, cyberbullies. I don't think I've had experience myself with cyberbullying, because I don't think Ryan and I were in that era just yet. I think we were just like coming up on it, but we were already old enough not to let that bother us.
Yeah.
But I mean, we see it all the time. We see it, we hear about it, we read about it. And to be honest, I think my advice would be if I had a child of my own, because I don't think I've ever really given advice to friends of that nature, because all my friends are my age and they don't experience that. But if I was telling a child or my own child, or just someone who's living that, I think I would just tell them to just ignore it, because it would be the same exact form of bullying, which would be physical, except in physical, someone can actually slap you in the face. But emotional is still just as bad. And what I would tell them is that the reason they're bullying you is because they're trying to make themselves feel better about the wrongs in their life. Or they're trying to do it because something hurts them so bad they want to share that pain with others, be it they do it on purpose or not on purpose. And you, as the one receiving this form of abuse, it's mind over matter, really. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, which is false. Words hurt a lot. But that's if you let them hurt you. And what I mean by that is ignoring it. Don't let the words become something painful. If someone calls you something, just brush it off, because you know deep down inside it's not true. The moment it starts hurting is the moment you start letting it, because you're allowing all the things they say about you become true when they're absolutely not true. Sure, some of it may be true. You know, maybe you're slow, maybe you're wearing different kind of shorts or something, but who cares? The person who's doing this to you is not someone to give your energy for. I'm a firm believer of not giving my energy or time to anything that makes me upset or sad, because one, that's precious time wasted on something that should not need my attention or take my attention away from me. So my advice to you is that when someone bullies you, especially in the cyber world, just brush it off. This is a person who most likely would not do that in real life. Maybe they do, but I don't know. I think it takes a special kind of someone to insult someone over the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, well said. You know, when I was never cyber bullied, or if I was, I just didn't care or notice it. Um, but I was bullied when I was growing up in school a lot. In fact, I was pretty much the bottom of the line kind of guy, as far as the rung of the ladder in high school or middle school. I was bullied a lot. But the thing is, eventually I learned of something. And that thing I learned was taking offense to something is a choice. When I learned that, it changed everything about me. Because you can choose whether you let something offend you or not. Your immediate reaction might be pain, you know, when someone says something hurtful, but you can actually take a step back and say, no, I decide that's not going to hurt me. And I'm going to move on and not even give a care about what that person said. When I started learning that, I started to learn how to take people when they made jokes about me. I would run with it, and I would continue the joke and make it funny. And that really helped a lot. In fact, when I did that, people stopped making fun of me because they saw me as someone who was like them. They saw me as someone who was trying to have fun, as opposed to someone who they need to one-up, as opposed to someone they need to make fun of so they can feel better about themselves. They started seeing me as a friend because I was able to connect with them on their level. Without hurting them, I just made them have more fun. And, you know, I think there's so much to be said about that whole concept of choosing how you want to experience something when something happens. You know, we have our initial reaction to things, but when that initial reaction happens, we can put a stop on it and say, hold up, no, I'm angry, but I don't want to be. It doesn't feel good. So I'm going to just kind of settle down and try not to be angry and just force myself to go a different path. And it really helped me out in my life to do that. And I'm sure it can help anybody else out as well. But yeah, the cyberbullying, it's going to be the same thing. You don't have to take offense to what they say. You don't have to care about it. And you can even take it and change the subject or give them a compliment or make them have a good time, and they'll stop bullying you. I can pretty much almost guarantee that they'll stop bullying you if you make them have a good time, because then they can see, if you compliment them and make them feel like they're your friend, they'll stop bullying you, because people don't bully their friends. So, and if they do, then they're just a bad person, then you just say, whatever, they're just a bad person, I don't care what they say. So, there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for that announcement you just put on the words there on the screen. Can you say that out loud?
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Watching.
So everyone who's watching, I am recording the show. So if you're just joining or you're a little bit late, do not worry. I started recording as soon as the show started, and we're going to upload it to our channels on Monday. We don't really have a specific time we upload on Monday. It's just going to be a Monday whenever Ryan and I have the time to upload. So if you are sad you missed anything, don't be. It will be there to watch. And I think it shows you the chat. Yeah, the chat's on the screen, so you can play along with the chat too.
Very cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we have one from Kuro-chan? Does anyone in this chat know how to deal with depression? I feel as though everyone I know just hates me and one day will give up on me.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. I think all of us have felt in some point in our lives a sense of depression. Some of us more than others, and some of us for a lot longer period of time. Depression, I'm going to give you something that was extremely valuable to me to getting over depression for myself. Depression is made up of two things, two habits, and they're subconscious. They're in the back of your brain, right? Everything that is about us, the things that we're interested in, whether we like women or men, whether we like, whether we know how to ride a bike or not. There's so many habits in the back of our head. How we walk, what smells mean what, how we speak our English language. All of this is subconscious. There's two habits that are subconscious that cause depression, okay? The first one is being habitually negative. You see things in a negative kind of way. You perceive the world in a habitual way, a habit. It's a habit for you to see the world in a negative way. And it's not something that you can blame yourself for. It's just something that's a part of you right now. And maybe you are influenced by your parents or the people around you, or TV, television, or YouTubers or whoever. I don't know what, I don't know your life story, but it's something that you can actually change. You can create new habits. And so the first habit is being habitually negative. So you need to try to force yourself to go in the opposite direction, to be habitually positive, to see things. When you see something and you realize, oh, that's kind of a negative perspective, you need to take a step back and say, what are the positives? And force yourself to try your best to find the positive all the time. It will slowly, very slowly replace that habit. It might take a couple of months, but it can happen. The other thing about habitually negative is self-focus. It's not selfishness. It's just being focused on yourself. Because this is what happens. When you're habitually negative and focused on yourself, you're negative about yourself. So that means everything you perceive about who you are is negative. Everything you see about your future is negative. Everything that you think about your friends and the way that they think about you is negative. So you need to make sure that you try to focus more on other people. And every time you see yourself focusing on yourself in a negative way, take a step back and say, stop talking to myself like that. I am worth more than that. Those are the things that really changed me. When I kind of learned about those things, I forced myself to start seeing things in a positive way, and I forced myself to go out of my way to do things for others that would reap no reward, because I want to give people a lot of different things without having reward is a form of selflessness, and it really helps. Ryan, audio just became amazing. Well, that's great.
Yeah, your
Thanks.
audio just changed dramatically.
Really? That's
Wait,
so
I can hear
weird.
myself.
Wait, I can hear myself.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Well, God wanted everybody to hear it. Thanks, Derek, for making it better. But anyway, so yeah, don't worry about your friends leaving you, everybody leaving you. Here's the thing: when I started to change who I was and being more positive and being less depressed, everybody started flocking towards me in high school. This was when I was no longer being bullied. So this is a very big deal, a very big important thing, depression. And I'm going to tell you the two key elements is, again, habitually selfish and habitually self-focused. Or sorry, not selfish. I mean habitually negative and habitually self-focused. If you can get rid of yourself being so negative all the time, the depression will go away. But if you don't get rid of being self-centered, the problem is then you'll become egotistical and people will hate you because you're only being positive about yourself and everything is about yourself and you want everything for you. And people hate those kind of people. So that's just another tip to go on. Don't become egotistical. Just become not depressed anymore. So yeah, I think that's an extremely important topic. Thank you for bringing it up. And you can find ways in your life to correct yourself, ways in your life to do things for other people, ways in your life to notice that you're being negative. You can find those things yourself. Maybe Derek has some good examples. I know one of my examples, I just started doing the dishes for my mom one day without her asking, as an example. So yeah, try to see things in a positive light. It will really change everything. But it's going to take some time. It might take a couple of months. Remember that. Just stick with yourself, and you'll get over it. All right.
I agree.
And on to Derek. I'm going to walk away and shut up for a while.
Right, come back. My
Oh,
voice
okay,
is
I'm here.
coming
Oh,
through
yeah.
your feed.
What? I didn't do anything. What?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, there. It's like kind of
What, now
going.
you... Okay, good.
But so yeah, about being depressed, it really just is how you view the world. And yes, it is possibly someone's fault that made you view it that way, but it is your fault for continuing to feel that way. I know that sounds super harsh. I've suffered depression myself. And really, it comes down to how you are going to change your mindset. You know, you can sit in your room, you can sit in your chair all day, you know, just sulking and thinking, well, why always me? Why is life this way? But really, life is amazing. It's so beautiful, but you can't see these things when you're allowing yourself to feel sad and depressed. Sure, these feelings will always be there. You know, it's almost impossible to live a life 100% happy. You know,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
always gonna feel... Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, don't expect that. Don't expect a perfect life.
Yeah, don't expect a perfect life. You're always going to feel some sort of negative emotion, which is okay because that contributes to growing and molding you as a person as you go on through life, because it makes you respect other people's emotions more. It makes you feel for others. It makes you more sympathetic. It makes you realize that, oh man, I'm not the only one who's feeling this. And if this person can do it, then I can do it too. And really, it all just comes down to you making that first step, which you already have. You asked the question in the chat for everyone to see, for everyone to hear, and for allowing us to answer the question for you. So you're already there. You just gotta make that step and make yourself go. Yeah, that's all I got.
Have a wonderful night, Ananya.
Yeah, bye, Nanya. We are happy to help. You has the good one.
Yes, you has the very good one.
And you are welcome, Katinix. We are happy
Yes.
to provide.
Thank you for thanking us for the stream. We appreciate that you thanked us.
That's amazing. Your voice just got super awesome.
That's awesome. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that we've got a better voice here now.
Okay, so I don't have any...
You know,
Go
here,
ahead.
them break. You said, thanks, it always seems that I can't control myself and start to talk back, feeding them more, I guess. I think, you know, that's so relatable. I think it's hard, but you have to create kind of like, again, another habit, like we were talking about just a second ago, of whenever you hear something that you dislike, it goes to your conscious mind first, so that you think about the way you're going to react before you just react. I think a lot of times we just kind of give into our habits or give into our immediate reactions, and it's good sometimes. That's one of the reasons why people like the internet, because there's time to process stuff before you actually have to type, so you're able to be a better version of yourself. We have to try to figure out how to put a filter on ourselves in that way so that we can be our best right in the moment. Which is not always easy. Sometimes things really get to us, you know, but yeah, it's just something you have to practice and get better at. Wow, did someone call out that you're Filipino? You're
No,
Filipino, right, Beta?
I was telling Kanasuki?
Yeah,
Kanasaki?
Kanasaki. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it either, so don't worry. Yeah, he's Filipino.
Si también.
Yeah,
Spanish.
si también, that's Spanish. What you mean to say, si kung makilala kayo, kinakisaki Kyodo-san. No,
Hi,
Ginoong.
Ami-chan. Nanda.
Honestly, hindi ako makasalita ng Tagalog, though, because I can't.
Are?
I just said I don't know how to speak it.
Eto.
Eto, that's Japanese. That's funny because when I was in the Philippines, for like 4 weeks. no, 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks, and I would try to talk Filipino, but then like I would get like halfway through the sentence and it would just turn into Japanese, and I'd be like, shoot, no, those are Japanese words. I'm sorry, everybody, can't do this.
Cool.
Lots of Filipinos. You know, it's really cool. I see like the Filipino see, like there are a lot more Filipinos on the internet now, and it's pretty cool to see all of that.
I agree.
So, way to go.
Like me right here.
Way to go, you guys. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, especially Derek.
we have a question from Alston Ryu. What's the difference between
Yes, this
pessimistic and depression?
Ah,
What do you
there
think,
is a
Ryan?
difference. Um, I would say that's the other key ingredient. Remember I said habitually negative, but also habitually self-centered, self-focused. I think if you retain the concept of negativity, but you aren't necessarily focused on yourself with it, you won't be depressed. You will just see things in a dark light, in a dark way. You perceive the world, and you might say, oh, I'm a realist, as opposed to the other person who's not. I think that's kind of a funny term because everybody thinks that they're a realist. But you might say, oh, well, I can see all of the bad things, and I call them out for being bad. And that's not necessarily looking at your life and thinking that it is going to go nowhere. There is a difference in being able to pick out good from bad and bad from good, and being able to, and I suppose assuming, you know, bad things would be pessimistic, and assuming good things would be positivistic. Pessimistic. I don't know the other word for some reason right now. So I think depression is an added effect of emotional turmoil. The construct of pessimism. So with pessimism, you don't have the emotional link that binds you to how you see things. But with depression, there is an emotional link that makes you feel a specific way because of the way that you see things. I think that might be the best definition, might be right there. What do you think, Derek?
What was the question again?
Oh, the difference between depression and pessimism.
Okay. Yeah, your voice kind of went off track, so I was trying to fix it.
Oh, well, thanks.
I really don't have too much to add to what Ryan said. I guess the question I want to hand off to you is, do you think there is not a difference, or do you think they're the same?
Yeah, you know, I think if you're emotionally tied into those things, then it would lead to depression.
Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense what Ryan said.
But yeah, just as Derek said, what do you think about it? Because that's a good question. You know, everybody has a different definition for things. It's strange, but that's the way it is. Some people might consider depression something different than other people, and this is with pessimism. Some people might view it in a different light. So I guess that's a good question for yourself to ask yourself, and think about it.
Yeah, because actually, like as Ryan said, they are two different words, but I actually also agree that pessimism, however you say it, will also kind of help lead into depression. But I do have a question here from, you have an awesome name, Amy Loves Chips. I had gotten into a fight with my friend, and we still talk about it. It's awkward. I want to apologize, but I just can't find the words to say so. I overthink it, and I just can't do so. What should I say to her?
Just to let everybody know, this is a Don't Worry live stream, so I saw there's a couple of new guys in here. We're basically taking comments and giving me advice out to the concerns of the awesome people that we have in our communities, and yeah, just kind of putting our hand out there for them. So feel free, if you have anything on your mind, to leave a comment. So, question. you have a friend, and you had a fight with them, and it keeps on getting brought up. Usually when that's the case, it's that someone's holding on to it. Forgiveness is incredibly important in any relationship, because we all already know that none of us are perfect, because we know ourselves and that we're not perfect, right? If someone were to marry somebody but say, but I'll never forgive you for any of the things that you do, obviously that marriage isn't going to work out. And that's true for friendship as well. You can't get into a friendship and expect it to work if you don't also have forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very, very crucial part to trust and to friendship and to relationships, to all that whole globe, that whole thingy. To use a technical term, thingy. So, I would say, start with forgiveness. Don't worry about what the offense was from her side. And the other thing is, I don't know the ways that you've apologized so far. There are many different types of apology. There's a book written about it. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the 5 Languages of Apology, something like that. But some people like to be apologized by just a word. They're like, I'm sorry, and that's enough. Some people like, I'm sorry that I was wrong. I'm sorry that I messed up and you were right. Some people need to see a active sort of play. You need to say, I'm sorry, and now I'm doing this for you to make up for it. They want makeup in a physical way. Some people like physical contact, like a hug. Say, I'm sorry, and give them a really nice, long hug. There are many different ways to apologize. Some of these you can try out for yourself, and they'll work, I'm sure. But the ultimate line is that there's this sense of forgiveness. So if you've tried everything and they don't forgive you, then quite simply, and I'm sorry, but then they are the person that needs to learn how to forgive. They're the person that needs to figure out how to get over it so that it doesn't get the friendship. So, one, it's important, so important to forgive. And, I like to forgive even before an apology is made. That makes me feel best. If someone apologizes after I've already forgiven them, I'm like, sweet, that's a success. Because, again, but if the person's not forgiving you, even though you've tried every method you can think of, including physical contact, including actual doing things to make up for it, like doing the dishes for them, or that's just a random example, helping them with their homework, or doing something for them, even giving them a gift, an apology gift. If you try that, if you try apologizing with, I was wrong, I messed up, you were right, even if that doesn't work, then there's nothing you can do, and it's unfortunate, other than to say, I'm sorry, but I have to move on past this. So, the friendship might take a go at that and just do what it does, and hope they'll learn to forgive you. There's only so much you can do, though, because you can't control whether they forgive you or not. So, but yeah, I recommend all of those types of different ways of forgiveness. And I'm going to give it to Derek, see what he's got to say.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Yeah.
But in all honesty, you really should, even if it may not have been your fault, and it's actually your friend's fault for whatever caused the fight, it's still really important to try to make up, because 1, it shows that you really do care about your friendship. 2, it shows that you are a strong individual. And 3, you don't want to lose a friend, unless the person is not really your friend, then okay. But the fact that you're asking, we highly suggest you just go and say, I miss you, I'm sorry for what you did, but I love you still.
Yes. That was great. I miss you, to me. I love you. I forgive you. I think it's so important.
Yeah, just do the thingy thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Inferno 890 Vlogs and More says, "This is a great thing you're doing, Static P and the Beta Cat. I love the idea, and I'm sure you're helping a lot of people. Thank you."
Thank you. It was Derek's idea, and he's a genius, so I went with it.
No, I'm not. Don't listen to this, man.
What? Yeah, you are. You came up with, don't worry, all of this. So clearly.
This is actually an easy question to solve. White Male says, "What if the friendship is not worth saving? Then you don't do anything, really."
Yeah. If it's not worth saving, then just let it go, I guess. It's up for you to decide what's worth and not worth. You know, we can't really tell you. I don't know your position in life. But
Naruto Uzumaki wants to know how much battery you have left.
Zinc. I have. I'm currently at 39%.
Okay, so we still got some time.
We got some time. But another thing to say about whether it's worth it or not, I usually like to leave even my not worth it relationships off on at least a decent key. So I always at least try to forgive and the things that happened. That way I don't hold a grudge in my heart that goes on living with me. And I try my best to make them at least mutual. That way I don't end up with an enemy, I suppose. But, you know, sometimes things just happen. You get enemies in life and you don't really get to pick. Because they get to pick for themselves whether they're enemies or not. So, it just is as it is. Where is Static on the planet? On the whole planet? The one place that I'm at right now? I'm in...
Oh, man.
If you know where that is.
All the secrets.
Yeah, I'm in Houghton Lake, Michigan at the moment. So, yeah, Houghton Lake, Michigan. Do any of you know where that is? I would be surprised if maybe 2 people knew. I'm going to guess 0, though.
He's actually in the Hidden Leaf Village. He's a liar.
Hidden Leaf Village, that's what it is. And leaves. Why so windy? I'm sorry, I guess the lag. I read lag and meant to say wind. I guess the wind has picked up on the audio now, unfortunately. Or maybe they're just watching the leaves and they're saying it's windy. That could be the case too.
Sweet.
Yeah, I probably somewhere near where it's windy. Oh, sorry, go on. Did you find a question?
I don't think there was a question. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. We will be the helpful.
Yes, it would be the one helpful thing that we would have. You know where Walmart is? That's awesome. That means you can go. That means you can go to your underwear and buy random objects like car tires and baking soda and a TV and also a toothbrush and a watermelon and a plastic bag. You can get lots of things at Walmart. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. That was great. Let me see. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
So we've got... Oh, yeah, I have no problem with pineapple on pizza. I don't get what the big deal is. Everyone's gonna blow up in the chat now because you said that, Derek.
I wasn't reading. I wasn't thinking.
I wasn't reading my own mind before I spoke.
It wasn't me. It's okay, it'll be fine.
Okay, so we have Nobody Loves Me says, for years now, I've had a deathly fear, like having a heart attack fear, of the dentist. This is since I had some of my teeth removed. Any recommendations on ways to stop my random fear? So random. she said to herself, her own comment. What, you got any suggestions how to get over fears like
man.
that?
Well, I'll give you my own experience of a fear I had. That was immediately just like erased within a matter of minutes. I had a huge fear of heights. I didn't really have them too much on like roller coasters and stuff, but they were there. If I was standing at the edge of a curve and I looked down, I was scared. And I got hired at a job that I worked when I was 18. And one of the things I had to do, which I didn't know at the time, was to get on this conveyor belt that lifts you up 3 stories into the air to stock stuff. And I was standing around, like, waiting to get trained, and then my boss says, "Hey, get on that, put the belt on, and go up." And I was like, "Oh, what? You want me to do what?" So, I'm scared out of my mind. I went up there, but I had to do it because it was my job. And then, within like an hour, I forgot that I was afraid of heights. So my advice to you is just to go do it. That's like really the best way to face your fears, is just to do it. And then you will really know, I think, if you really are scared of that thing or not. But that's really
that's a good point. You know, I feel like you were thrown into a position where you're like, well, I can't back down from this job position. And I got to do what I got to do. I mean, so here I go. It's terrifying. And you get up there, for an hour, and you're like, I'm kind of used to it now, actually. Yeah, I could totally relate to that. Great story. I think that I agree completely. You know, just do whatever it is your fear is of, and it will no longer be a fear. I probably should be afraid of spiders. I think a lot of people are afraid of spiders because it's transferred through their parents and the way that they react to spiders. But I'm not. And that's because I saw that it was a fear and that it was somewhat irrational and silly. So I went out of my way to interact with spiders and make myself not be afraid of them. So when I see a spider, it doesn't bother me to just kind of be around it or to let it do its thing. Like, I had spiders that were crawling in my home, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, you do you. I'm over here doing on my computer, so whatever. It's cool. And other people would see and freak out. But, you know, I think my initial reaction when I was a kid was to freak out, but I saw it as something like, that doesn't need to be a thing. There's other people who aren't afraid of this, so I don't want to be afraid of this. I don't want to be seen as a scaredy cat, so I'm going to get over this. And I basically put myself in the position where I was a little bit scared in a somewhat controlled environment, and I got over it.
So we hope we were able to help you there.
Florida boy, hey man, blah blah blah. I don't know anything about joining the army. I would have to look that up on Google. So my best suggestion is look it up on Google. I think you should be fine though. But yeah, they might just prescribe some sort of eyeglass wear, or that you get your eye fixed. So I doubt that is going to be an issue. But look it up on Google. His question was I went to MEPS, which is the process to getting into the U.S. military. I did an eye exam, and it said I had a slight stigmatism. Should I be worried that I won't be able to join the Army? And that was my answer.
If you're joining through a recruiter, you can really just talk to your recruiter, and your recruiter will do everything they can to make sure you get in. And if you don't have a recruiter, it's really easy just to get one if you're already in the process. The only reason I know all this is because my dad was in the Air Force, and I have like half of my friends went to the Marines.
Nice. The Marines even. Nice.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
No.
So I have one from Inferno. I get judged because I'm a nerd and weeb. I'm scared to go up to my next school because I just passed my final grade in my school. Should I be scared or should I not worry? Okay, hold on. Is your question saying you're scared to go to the next level in fear that you are going to get picked on? Is that the question?
I think that's the question.
Okay, yeah, I think yeah, going to my next school because I just passed my final grade school. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Here's what. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
no,
You
you
go
go.
first,
You go.
Eric.
No, you first.
No, you go. I want you to go first,
I'm logging off.
please. I love you. I just. Oh, dude. Wait. That would make me go. I'm logging off. Bye. See you.
Um, so I think what where'd you go? You just disappeared, everyone. There he is.
Okay. Me and my creepy self.
So
Go for it.
to answer your question, Inferno, I think the actual issue here is that you're already kind of prejudging what the future is going to give you, which is fine. I get you're scared that you're going to be judged in the next year or whatever it is, but you don't have to think that way. If you think that way, as we explained in the earlier parts of this show, you kind of make the world the way you see it and the way you feel it. If you're kind of already going into the next school year saying, oh, I'm going to get picked on already, then there might be a chance that might happen. But if you just go confident, which that's a learning thing on its own, if you just go like nothing's going to happen, there's no need to worry, then there probably nothing will happen. You might meet friends who are exactly in the same boat as you, and you can be that thing they look up to you. And maybe feel that, oh, this person can brush it off, then maybe I can too. Or if you see someone in that same exact situation, they're brushing it off, maybe you can too. So don't go into the school year thinking that it's already over. don't do anything with that kind of mindset, thinking that it's already over. Because as soon as you start thinking that way, you're already in the process of making it bad when you haven't already even started yet. You're kind of writing a story that hasn't even been told yet. So don't do that. Just let it plan out and do its own thing. Just gotta be positive. Like it's okay to like nerdy things and stuff like that. I like that stuff. I don't have any friends, but I still like it.
That's not even true.
Yeah, it's not true. Just trying to make a joke. But you know what I'm saying. Just have fun. Don't make things up that aren't happening yet.
Hmm.
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. I agree completely. That's a really good way to say it. I could give you a personal story. I'm trying to figure out a way to make this short, because I've given this story many times, and some people will be like, "Oh, this again," even though it's a good story. I like it. When I was going through school, I mentioned this earlier. I was bullied a lot. I was picked on. I was not very liked. I was in a lot of arguments with people, and I was very easy to pick on. So this was from basically halfway through elementary all the way until the last 2 years of high school. Even though I was already in high school, people already had a reputation. I already had a reputation. People already had a specific view of me as the kid who gets picked on, as the guy at the bottom, you know. Even though I had that, I was able to overcome so much in the last 2 years of my high school. And this is all that it was. I started to gain self-esteem, self-confidence. Basically, 2 years earlier, so at the beginning of high school, I started playing a video game. It was an online game, and I made a lot of friends on it. And I had a lot more friends in that game than I ever had in real life. And I had a lot more friends. No one picked on me in the game, and I had a lot of people pick on me at school. So 2 years into this, I was like, why is this the case? How come everybody loves me when I'm online, but nobody loves me when I'm in real life? And I started to realize, oh, that's because in real life, I'm not being the person I am online. The online self is actually more like the real me. I'm not holding everything back. I'm not scared to say what I have to say. I'm not afraid to sit down next to some random person I've never met before and strike up a conversation. I'm not afraid to compliment people and things. I'm not afraid about what other people think so much. And so then I took that mentality and I took it into real life. And so in school, I started sitting down next to random people that I either were enemies before or maybe they're just strangers. And then I just said, hey, how's it going? And I started up a conversation. And doing this
I would finally say those jokes out loud that were in my head that I was afraid to say before. I would speak up, and I would become more of a class clown in a way, but not so that I was distracting or disrespectful, but just that I would actually voice my thoughts, my jokes, my opinions. And all of a sudden, I had a better view of myself, and everybody started flocking around me. And as I lifted myself up, I lifted up other people around me too, and they lifted me up. We kept on complimenting each other, and it grew this huge community where we became literally the biggest group in the school that was connected through friendship. We became, by default, the popular crowd. Everybody liked us because we were just friendly, and we were not afraid to just have a good time and make people feel good. We went out of our way to say things that were nice about other people. People liked that. So the main thing for you is, don't worry about going into your new school year and getting a bad reputation because you like anime or you like nerdy stuff. Lots of people do. Trust me. Even the people that say they don't like it because they're trying not to look nerdy or not look weeby, they even like it. I know a couple of friends that I had that were like that. They're like, oh, I don't like anime. But then they would go home and watch it for hours. I'm like, shut up, dude. You know? So people are into that stuff. Don't worry about getting made fun of because of that. You'll find other people that are like that. And if they don't like it, who cares? Who cares what other people like? If you don't, it's something that you like. They don't have to like it. That's not what they think of it. Doesn't decide who you are. So, yeah, go into it, like Derek said, with confidence, with allowing yourself to be open, with high self-esteem, and that's not easy, but if you work on yourself and force yourself to do things to make yourself a better person out in public, your self-esteem will skyrocket. I assure you it will. I promise you it will. Out in public, if you are trying to make yourself a better person out in public, and you create new habits that, oh, I'm a good person, you'll be proud of yourself, and that's going to make your self-esteem go way high. And people will start coming to you because they really like, people flock to people who have good self-esteem because they feel good when they're around them. So, done. I mean, that's all I got to say about it. Everything Derek said also was extremely valuable.
No, it wasn't.
It was 100%, at least. Maybe more if that's possible. I don't know. I haven't done the math on it yet.
What's your battery at right now?
Tree is at 28.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question.
Yeah, we could do another one.
Okay, let's see. We have a lot of questions about bullying this show.
Yeah, guess that was what's on the topic's mind, which is good. I guess now we got a video title, bullying. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, we thank you all for joining us in this magnificent adventure.
Hi, Koseki.
Oh, there's a question right there. I think that's the same person we're looking at.
Yeah, Koseki. Akarome?
Yeah.
No, Akurame. I never tried to say his last name before. I just always call him Koseki. He's one of my friends, so.
So how about that?
You want to do that one? Okay. I'll read it out loud this time. Self-doubt and how to deal with it. Derek, go.
You punch yourself in the face really hard. And then you say, don't do that. But,
Don't do that.
Self-doubt, that's always going to be a thing. I mean, I think I have it once in a while still. And, oh, almost died. But especially if you're someone that's really passionate about anything, you're going to have self-doubt because you care about whatever it is so much that you want it to work. Be it something creative, be it something in a business life, be it something with your friends. You're always going to have self-doubt because you always will have this fear that it's not going to work or it's not going to come true. And this kind of ties into the other question of how you perceive the world. Goes with how you perceive yourself. If you perceive yourself as someone that can't do anything, or it's not worth doing something because you're going to waste your time, then that's how it's going to be. It's going to be that way because you chose to make it that way. And the first step to getting rid of self-doubt, not 100% because it's honestly not going to happen, but you can limit it to a huge extent, is just to have confidence, which starts with just doing something for the first time in your whole life. And once you feel how that feels, you'll kind of look at it and be, hey, you know what, that's not too bad. I actually kind of like the way that felt. I like the way it made me feel saying this out loud, or drawing this for the first time and showing my friends, or telling my parents something secretive. It feels good when you let that out. And I'm not saying it's addicting in a way, it's more that it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. So when you have these self-doubts, kind of take a step back and like tell yourself, why am I having this at all? Because tying into another question, if you say no before you even do anything, the answer is going to be no already, without even giving yourself the opportunity for it to be a yes. So why don't you go for the 50-50 and rather going for 100% no, you know?
Yeah.
Ryan?
Oh, are you trying to tell me something there? Is there something I'm not doing? What is
Won't you
it?
love me?
Where's the going? Derek?
I meant
Am
to
I
pass
moving
it
my head
off,
around
but
enough
I
for
didn't
the
finish my sentence.
I know. No, I knew what you were passing it. I'm just kidding. Okay, so yes, and yes. I have a great example. The sprinklers turn on, which is not part of the example.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna move this. And I'm just gonna carry on over here. Carry my phone and carry on over here. Well, look at that sun. Whoa, I am a white man. I'm a very white man. Whoa, I am a white man. This is new. Okay, so anyways, what was I gonna say? Okay, I have a good example of this. My brother is an incredible, good example of this. Not in a bad way, a good way. My brother is like, he is not a car mechanic. But today he was like, the cars are breaking down, and we don't have enough money to fix it. So, I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm gonna figure it out. A lot of people, huge barrier, self-doubt all the way up because they could mess something up, and then now they've even got a bigger bill to deal with, right? They could not know the steps. You know, that's normal. He didn't know the steps. But what he did, he was like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to just figure it out. And so he opened up the car. He watched a bunch of YouTube videos and actually fixed the car. And not only once, but he did this over and over and over. And eventually he just basically became and most car can. And that is surprising to me. Like, Kyle's the name of my brother. I'm like, how like, didn't you worry that it would just break, you make things worse? Like, you just decided to go for it? Like, and I think that a lot of times we have this self-doubt that where it's like we're afraid to even start, right? We're afraid to even start because we don't think that we can do it, but we don't give ourselves enough credit. We have to actually put some effort into we can do it. And this doesn't just apply to, you know, fixing up cars. A lot of people ask me how I do my videos. I just opened up a video program and started messing around with it until I figured it out. That's the same thing as what my brother did with cars. Or I just opened up I just kind of started playing around with music, and I learned how to do music. I started playing around with the piano. I learned how to play the piano. I didn't have a sense of self-doubt when I was a kid. It was something that came about later when I experienced some things and I didn't do a good job, I guess. So I didn't have that self-doubt when I was a kid about playing the piano, and I just kind of messed around until I learned. And so that's really the thing. You gotta try to not put up that barrier. Don't give yourself like the concept of, oh, I'm not a car mechanic, so I shouldn't even try. Well, if it's something that you think you should probably do, just give it a shot. Learn. You know, you can totally learn how to do it. So that's an example. And pretty much exactly what Derek said. You can't ever completely get over self-doubt. You know, you'll always have this concept of, you know, here's the thing. I write music, you know, but I know for a fact not everybody's going to like it. Same thing for Derek. Derek writes music. He knows for a fact not everybody's going to like it. There's that self-doubt, but it's a level self-doubt because we already understand that that's okay. There are people who are going to like it and there are people who aren't going to like it. There are some things that we look at and be like, wow, that I don't know how to even do that. I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. I'm not talented enough or whatever. But if we don't even give ourselves a shot, then it's an immediate no, like Derek's. So, yeah, self-doubt, it's a thing, but don't let it control you. Don't let it stop you. Let it drive you. You can see self-doubt and say, ha, I know what this is. This is self-doubt. I'm going to destroy you. Check this out. Watch me actually be the awesome person and go out of my way to do this thing I've never done before because I'm awesome. Unlike you, self-doubt. Shut your face.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you know, some people get fired up by that concept of sticking it to the man, you know? So, just kind of think about that.
So actually, let's do one more question because I'm sure we can answer this very quickly. And it ties into the whole bullying thing, I think. This one's from Musical Fan. If you have time, can you answer this question? This is going to be our last question too, by the way, everyone. People are making fun of me and my group of friends for liking a genre of music calling us emo. We don't appreciate this. How can we stop it?
Take it away.
So, as the main theme of this episode today was on bullying, and for anyone who like judges you just for anything, absolutely anything, ignore it. Their opinions do not matter, and you should not care for what they think of you because one, it's not worth it. If they're gonna judge you for just the music you listen to, you've already won. You've already won this battle of argument just because they're judging you based on what you like. And I think that's kind of like the most petty thing someone can do to a person is judge them by things that they like because everyone has different forms of taste. Everyone likes certain foods, everyone likes certain music, everyone likes the way they put their shoes on. Everyone has something they enjoy themselves.
I like my shoes this way.
And who cares if you like this type of genre of music? If it makes you happy, makes you feel good, makes you sad, makes you happy, whatever, then keep listening to it. Do not change the things you like because someone is making fun of you for it. Because as soon as you do that, you've lost. You're making your life worse for absolutely no reason other than to please someone who hurt you in the first place. So just let them have their own opinions of this thing that you should like, or what is that on your shoulder?
What? You have this? Oh, this? This is Omega. You know, you have Alpha and you're Beta. I'm P-Man 9000. This is Omega. He's shy. He's also a rot. But I figured I wanted to fit in, so yeah.
Someone called him Rock Chen.
I call him Rock Chen. Rock Sama.
It's Rock Lee
Because
from Naruto.
he's better than.
Yeah, that's pretty much my answer. Whatever their opinion is, it doesn't matter because as long as you like what you like, that's what matters. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters. If they have these bad opinions about you, that's always going to happen. Someone's always going to dislike something you like, and that's okay. They can like whatever they want to like. They can hate whatever they want to like, especially for your opinions as well. You may not like something, you may love something. That's just how the world is, man. Whenever people have something bad about you, who cares? Okay, Ryan, your turn.
100% agree. I think it's silly. Obviously, not your emotions, but I think it's silly of them to try to make fun of somebody because of a style of music or a style of clothing. You know, there's. I think, you know, some of the nicest people I've ever met were totally like goth, like super goth. and they listen to emo music as well. And I remember they were in kind of like the low crowd, didn't have very many friends or whatever, but they were really cool people if you got to know them. So knowing that really changed my perspective of that kind of crowd. I think a lot of times people just have this narrow mindset where they think they're the best and everybody else sucks. And it's unfortunate because it's obviously not the case. You know, like Derek said, you don't have to care about what they think about this thing. That's what they think. It doesn't decide who you are. It doesn't have to make you feel bad that they don't like it. If they're making fun of it, they're making fun of themselves because they've got such a silly, narrow, shallow mindset. They're making fun of themselves, really, because they're making themselves people. They're making themselves have enemies, which is you and everybody they make fun of. That's not a good thing. So, props to you for sticking with people like that. And I don't have any suggestions other than if you can find a way to show them that you're a pretty cool person, get to know them, find a way to, you know, become their friend, and you'll change completely their view of that whole thing. But if you cannot do that, then just it is what it is. But don't be emotionally affected by it, because, like Derek said, for all the things Derek said, it's not, it doesn't need, and it's not going to help you to do so.
Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray! We did it!
So, Ryan, you realize it's your turn for the joke.
No, that was my turn last time. I stood out in the rain. You want me to stand out in the sprinkler this time? Fine. You guys are jerks.
Wait.
You guys
Don't do that.
Can't even believe you right now. You see that sprinkler right there? See that sprinkler? Huh? You see it?
Don't do
Spraying?
it, Ryan.
Oh, I can't step into it.
That looks like it's gonna
get
hurt.
so wet.
Oh, it's coming for me. Oh, my pant leg! No, seriously, I'm done. Got my pant all wet. What you did? Look what you did to my... It looked like I pit myself.
Oh, dude, that's not
Gross.
good.
Wait, let me get this in the sun so you guys can see. See what you did to me? See what you made me overreact so hard that now I've got wet. You got me wet for overreacting. What a terrible person you are, Derek. Now I'm livid. If that's a word to describe this feeling of anger. Okay, now it's your turn to tell a joke, because that's the best I got. Joke's on me. Oh, wait, that's... Oh.
Yeah, you really did the thing.
Yeah, hashtag Ryan Wet once again. Oh my goodness. Every stream, every time. Got nothing beyond that. Okay. Those are the only words I know how to say is every time.
Okay, here, I have one. How do crazy people get through a forest?
What? They run?
No.
Crazily? Okay, how do
That's
the
a good
people
answer, but
that are
no.
crazy? Okay.
They take the psychopath.
Oh, I see. They took the psychopath. Nice. Smart. That's great. Or if you're a musical fan, then they just don't. They don't. They stuck in the forest forever.
Oh man.
I can actually see you go into a forest, and you've got like a group of like 5 individuals. I pulled up 10 fingers. That's how smart I am. You've got a group of 5 individuals, all 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including all the fingers. So you go into a forest with like 5 people, and they get lost, like dead lost. It's like, you know, you'd see in a movie, something that wouldn't happen. And then there's one person, and he's like, "You take this path over here," and everyone's looking at him like, "What are you talking about? This path is a path going right over there. Don't you see it? Clearly, it's got to be something. There's a path." And other people are like, dude, you've gone mental. You've gone crazy. It's like, no, you guys stop messing around. We're trying to get out of the forest. We need to take this path. And then the whole thing just turns into like a really intense horror movie because you've got this psycho who wants to take the psychopath, and everybody disagrees with him. So he's like getting to the point where he's so mentally destroyed and angry. No one wants to take his path that clearly is there, and it turns into a horror movie. Good job.
Okay, I got one more joke because we got to. Ryan.
Yes.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Europe.
No, Europe. Okay, Europe who?
No.
This is your joke. Europe who? What?
Oh, you did the thingy.
What did I do? No. It's your joke. Europe. What?
Hey, what is this?
Europe who?
What is this raid thing going
No,
on?
no. Everybody said red raid. Did we get like some random person that's like, hey, go check out this guy's stream? And now we've got like a bunch of people in here from another stream. We're like literally a minute from ending. I'm wondering, what's all this red raid here?
Are you getting raided right now?
Oh, yeah, that would be a raid. That's funny. That's great that we're getting raided when we're about to leave. Literally, my battery's at 15%. I'm sorry, everybody who's amazing here. But unfortunately... Or maybe they want us to raid somebody. Hey, Eric, can you go find somebody to raid real quick? We've got 200 people here. I don't know how many are here. Go find somebody, and then we can all jump on their stream, and they'll be like, holy crap.
How do I just search for streams? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Anyone have any suggestions? Someone raid? Yeah, unfortunately, the problem, Kong Moa, is that the trees out here in Michigan, they don't have charging stations on them, so I can't hook a charger up to my phone. I know it's different in California, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that person knows you.
Which one?
Red. They came from Red Stream.
Oh, they came from Red Stream. Oh, well, thank you, Red. I appreciate it. You're awesome. I'm sorry that I happened to be ending the stream at the same time that you did this.
Yeah,
but you are so awesome.
He said he used to talk. His name's Matt.
Oh, we used to talk? We used to talk a while back. My name is Matt. Okay. I know quite a few Matts, so I'll have to think about which one that is. Maybe through Twitter? Did we talk through Twitter? I'm gonna guess something like that. Anyway, they're looking for someone to raid.
Oh no, I have not. I have like the Discovery Channel as my recommended for some reason.
Oh, Discovery Channel. Let's raid Discovery Channel. Literally, you gave me permission to use songs in my videos like 2 months ago. Oh, okay. Yeah. Give me permission to use. Oh. Yeah. I do recall that. Okay. Hi, Red. Hi, Matt.
Okay, we should bring it to a close.
Yeah. Be best. Maybe next time we'll find people to raid. That way we can kind of take a community and throw it at somebody else, and they can get something out of it.
Take all this love.
Take all the love that we got to offer. And it's all nice people, which is cool, because everybody in this community is always super nice.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for coming to the stream. We hope you enjoyed. Once again, this is being recorded. It will be uploaded on Monday, so keep a lookout on your box. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Ryan to be part of the family.
No, subscribe to Derek to be part of the family.
Subscribe to Ryan to be part of the family.
No. You subscribe to Derek to be part of the family.
And also check us out on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with the things that we don't do.
Yeah, you're right. I honestly never post there. Once in a while I do.
Cool. We hope you all had an amazing time, and we'll see you again next week, Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or just hit the bell icon on Ryan's channel to be notified as soon as we go live.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.